Oh wowie, 'tis the season for everyone's Game of the Year list, so here is mine for 2017. What a year. Let's start out with a few weird subcategories for ya.
Best games I watched my boyfriend play.
Generally speaking, I hate JRPGs unless they have a lot of charm or otherwise kind of trick me into enjoying them, and Persona 5 surprisingly charmed me with its bangin' music and interesting, quirky plot. I still get the song stuck in my head. Breath of the Wild is simply a triumph of game design and a ballsy reimagining of the standard Zelda game flow. It's an impressive feat to change the formula so drastically and pull it off so naturally. Yakuza 0 is perhaps pure joy in game form. It manages to combine a serious plot with the goofiest side shit imaginable. It's nothing short of incredible that it can smash these two things right next to each other while still feeling like the same cohesive experience. And Resident Evil 7 was too intense for me to personally play, but that does not mean I can't appreciate everything it did. This game and Breath of the Wild both wowed me with their bold reinventions of their respective franchises.
Biggest disappointment, Yooka-laylee.
If you watched my streams of it, y'all probably know about my opinions of Yooka-laylee, so I'm not going to go over them in detail here. But I do want to point out that, hey, if the snowplow was supposed to control like it did and be really slippery and uncontrollable, and I'm just an impatient idiot who doesn't know how to use an analog stick, and everyone who agrees with me that the thing controls really bad is just a stupid sycophant. Why did the game devs patch it? Why did they fix it, Justin? Why did they fix the snowplow? Anyway, whatever. Here's the actual top 10 list now. My Games of the Year, 2017.
Number 10, The Evil Within 2.
There's an asterisk there because I'm not done playing this one, so even though I'm really digging it so far, I figured that I ought to put it lower on the list. It's about time someone made a game based on The Cell. It's a really good movie, really. Check it out. The visuals are crazy cool when you're not panicking about killing zombies in the semi-open world areas. Nope! 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 Hey, buddy! No! 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 No!
Oh, you're...
Fuck! Fuck! I suck! Everything about it so far is a major improvement from the first Evil Within, so now the game includes cool things like a plot and reasonable difficulty modes. Nice.
Number 9, Detention.
This indie horror game hails from Taiwan and was way, way, way more interesting than I thought it would be. It has some awesome aesthetics going for it and an emotionally investing plot taking place when the country was under martial law. It spooked me while also educating me about a country I do not know very much about.
Number 8, Stories Untold.
An engaging series of small horror games that are individually outstanding and satisfying. I loved playing this, especially the second and third ones out of the 4. They really hit that exact atmospheric horror level that I'm really drawn to. While each of the scenarios stand very well on its own merits, the game ironically kind of falls apart by bringing it all together in the last segment. It ended up being pretty ham-handed, and it kept asking the player, like, do you get it? Which was, like, so suspiciously Sam Barlow-esque that I... Wait, what the fuck?
Number 7, Cook Serve Delicious 2.
This is my go-to, I'm addicted to this thing and I need to zone out for a while game. While I do miss the more linear feeling progression of running your own restaurant in the first game, the sequel makes up for it with an absolutely ginormous amount of content. So much food, so many buttons to press.
Number 6, Sonic Mania.
Besides a couple of bullshit bosses, this was a gorgeous and triumphant return to form for the Sonic franchise. It has super awesome music and the cutest attract mode cutscene ever. Not gonna lie, it made me a little emotional.
Number 5, Super Mario Odyssey.
Don't be mad at me for ranking this outside of the top 3, internet. It was good. So good. Really good. Mario Odyssey is really, really, really good. It's a good game, guys. It was beautiful and challenging, and wow, what a game. It's good. It made me proud to be a new donker. And Jump Up Superstar is probably the best video game song since the DK rap.
Number 4, The Sexy Brutale.
Oops, here comes a bunch of indies ranked above Mario Odyssey. Uh-oh, now I've done it. But the Sexy Brutale was just so damn stylish, and it had a super interesting plot. It has time travel hijinks and this general, like, Majora's Mask feel to it. And I'm a big fan of things that just feel like Majora's Mask, you guys. It's my favorite Zelda. So Sexy Brutale's gameplay just engaged the heck out of me.
Number 3, Night in the Woods.
I like this game enough that I remembered it all year, and I even dressed up as May for my lazy-ass Halloween costume. Night in the Woods is one of those games that makes me wonder, why can't more games be written like this? Every single character, despite being depicted as non-humans, are the most human-feeling characters I've met in years, probably. Everyone talks like a normal person, and I can't believe that is so hard for games to do. Bethany Hockenberry and Scott Benson made that shit look easy, and Benson's artistic style is perfect for enhancing the expressiveness and depth of these characters. They really have personalities, and also strikingly, not all of the personalities are good. These cats, dogs, alligators, and bears manage to be so likable and quirky while simultaneously possessing strong and relatable flaws. And Night in the Woods is so grounded in its approach here. It's never patting itself on the back for having nuance, nor is it asking you if you get the plot, which is probably what makes the plot so interesting. It leaves a lot up to interpretation. And in the face of what may be actual cosmic horrors occurring, I came away from the game embracing that I'll never know definitely what happened with all that eldritch stuff. Because what matters more are the little things. Stuff like making socially mortifying non-decisions, hanging out with my dad at night, talking to my mom in the morning, and throwing pierogies in my friend's hungry maw.
Number 2, Doki Doki Literature Club.
This game fucked me up. I'm still thinking about it and sometimes losing a bit of sleep. It's a horror game with an impressive meta-narrative that defied all of my expectations. While indeed having occasional jump scares, I would say that about 90% of the game is just playing upon your anxiety about those. The game is just unnerving as hell, but rarely goes out of its way to suddenly scare you. The game doesn't intend to constantly traumatize and shock you, but artfully arranges many layers of dread and unease over time. It manages to feature some very disturbing content while simultaneously, and this is a big deal, not being mean to the player about that content. The dev could have easily been a dick about this. He could have hid the fact that this is a horror game way more, but the dude was nice enough to put a very straightforward content warning at the beginning. In fact, there's a lot of content warnings in this game, thanks. The game is also sympathetic and deliberate in its approach to various dark topics. I sadly can't say the same for the game's fandom, however, who think that suicide is just hilarious and oh so memey, so yeah, play the game, avoid the subreddit.
Number 1, Nier Automata. Nier. Everyone seems to pronounce it differently.
Wowza, this game is frickin' unreal. Yoko Taro is a genius. It's actually hard to put into words what is so damn good about this game because, I just want to type in .72 font. Everything is good about this game. The gameplay is awesome, approachable, and endlessly customizable. The physical and emotional setting of the game is just fascinating. I love Yoko Taro's visions of post-apocalyptic worlds. The somber melancholy of his games are somehow so attractive. And along with that depressing tone are presented hopeful notes and goofy moments as if they're the most natural thing in the world to be coexisting together. Because, I mean, in real life, of course those things do coexist, but for some reason it's just really difficult to put that in fiction without inflicting tonal whiplash on the audience. It's masterfully done here, and the emotional nuance of this game is a standard that I wish more games could reach. It's just so damn good. And also, Emil is my perfect son, who I will protect forever. So, those are my games of the year for 2017. Thanks for watching. Support me on Patreon or on paypal.me/VoidBurger if you don't trust those Patreon dinguses anymore after their most recent goof up. Which could be anything depending on when you're watching this video. Maybe they did something even more catastrophically stupid. Probably. Hello, future people who have seen the worst that is to come. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!